Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Totally Not Confused, 99. Thanks for the suggestion, Not Confused. You asked, why is pink for girls and blue for boys? It's one of those things we don't even think about, like why toast always lands butter side down, or why people say bless you when you sneeze. But this whole color rule isn't some ancient tradition passed down from the dawn of time. In fact, it's surprisingly modern and, well, kind of random. So, if you've ever wondered why baby clothes look like a cotton candy explosion, stick around as we uncover how pink and blue got gender-coded. Right here on Explaining Everything. If you went back to the 1800s and told people pink was a girl's color, they'd probably laugh and go back to churning butter or whatever they did back then. At that time, babies didn't wear pink or blue. They wore white. Why? Because parents weren't about to waste time separating laundry when they could just bleach everything back to normal. But when pastels started creeping into baby fashion in the late 19th century, the rules weren't set. Some sources actually recommended pink for boys and blue for girls. Why? Because pink was seen as strong and bold, kind of like red, but in baby form. Blue, on the other hand, was considered delicate and soft, perfect for little girls. Yes, we were this close to living in a world where pink Power Rangers were the tough ones. Even as pastels became more popular, there was no universal rule for which gender got which color. Some department stores said pink was for boys, some said pink was for girls, and others probably just threw their hands up and said, buy whatever you want, people. In 1927, Time magazine even published a chart showing how different stores assigned colors to babies. Macy's said pink for boys, while Filene's said pink for girls. It was pure chaos. Babies everywhere had no idea what they were supposed to be wearing. So, what changed? In a word, advertising. During World War II, blue became associated with masculinity. Soldiers wore blue uniforms. Navy blue symbolized strength, and suddenly, blue had manly energy. Meanwhile, pink was pushed as a soft, feminine, delicate color, basically the opposite of everything the war effort promoted for men. By the time the war ended, advertisers went all in. They started marketing pink to women and blue to men, and suddenly, gendered colors became the new normal. If you were a stylish 1950s woman, you owned something pink. Mamie Eisenhower, the First Lady, even made pink a White House trend. She loved it so much, they called the shade Mamie Pink. From then on, pink and femininity were basically married. If you were a baby girl, pink. If you were a baby boy, blue. And nobody questioned it. If the 1950s started the pink and blue divide, the 1980s cemented it. Why? Because ultrasounds got better. Before the 80s, most parents didn't know their baby's gender before birth, so baby clothes and toys were neutral. But when parents could find out ahead of time, stores realized they could sell double the amount of baby stuff. If you had a boy first and a girl second, guess what? You weren't reusing that blue stroller, you were buying a new pink one. This was big money. Everything from toys to clothes to nursery decor became aggressively color-coded. Pink wasn't just a color anymore. It was a marketing strategy. And it got weird. Science kits, blue. Dolls, pink. Trucks, blue. Kitchen playsets, pink. Apparently, if you were a little girl who liked science, too bad. Your microscope was going to be hot pink or else. Fast forward to today, and things are shifting. Millennials and Gen Z are pushing back, and gender-neutral baby clothes are trending again. Some brands have even stopped labeling colors by gender altogether. Even pop culture is challenging the color divide. Harry Styles wears pink suits. Jaden Smith rocked a skirt for a Louis Vuitton campaign. And remember, pink used to be a boy's color. So technically, men reclaiming pink isn't a fashion statement. It's just historical accuracy. So, why is pink for girls and blue for boys? Honestly, because some marketing executives in the mid-20th century decided it would sell more stuff. That's it. There's no deep historical or biological reason, just capitalism doing its thing. If things had gone differently, football teams would be decked out in hot pink uniforms, and little girls' bedrooms would be calming shades of blue. But instead, we got stuck in this color-coded reality where pink means girl and blue means boy, even though it wasn't always that way. At the end of the day, colors don't have genders. They're just colors. So, wear what you want, buy what you like, and remember, you almost lived in a world where pink was the ultimate tough guy color. If you enjoyed this deep dive about the tradition of gender-coded colors, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.